welcome back to my channel. How are we doing? I'm back with a thrift haul. That was a weird opener, but I haven't done a thrift haul in absolutely yonks, so I'm excited to be back. I try and boycott fast fashion as much as I can because it's really unsustainable. And actually, if you watch this video when it actually goes live, so real time watching it, today is International Women's Day. So it ties in quite well because the vast majority of people who make our clothes, if we're shopping fast fashion, the vast majority of people who have made those clothes on the hangers, in Topshop, in Primark, in all those high street stores, those clothes have been made overseas in factories that often the conditions are abhorrent. The people who are making the clothes are not paid very well, they're not treated very well, they don't have their basic human rights afforded to them at work. And the vast majority of garment workers, I think it's something like 80% of garment workers, are women. So it's definitely a feminist issue. It's definitely something that if you're wearing a t-shirt that says girl power and it's, if you bought it from like Topshop or Primark or River Island or H&M or any of those stores, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. And I understand if people aren't educated on it. I follow so many genuinely lovely people who also blog about fashion. Do they not know, or do they not want to know where these clothes are coming from? Do you know what I mean? Like, I think there's a difference between not knowing about these people who have made their clothes, who have slaved, working incredibly long days. It basically is, in my opinion, it's slavery. Yeah, they may be getting paid, but like pittance, not enough to live off of. And do they not want to know about that, or are they just choosing like not to look at it? Because I get it, like, we lead very busy lives, we all have our own personal problems in our own little bubbles. But by the same token, you don't need that many clothes. And especially, I think this video in particular, this thrift haul, it's kind of timed with the whole, it's been fashion week recently and there's going to be a lot of encouragement to buy a new wardrobe for spring. You don't need to buy, just because it's a new season, doesn't mean you need to buy new. Doesn't mean you need to buy more stuff. I mean, if you actually need something, an item of clothing that you are actually in need of, or even if you just really want it, try and shop secondhand. I urge you to try and shop secondhand first, because there's so much on this planet that is already there that we don't need new stuff. Also, I think boycotting fast fashion does so much, but I think that my personal opinion is that boycotting as a form of activism pairs best with being vocal about why you're boycotting it. Because if you just boycott fast fashion, and like, I'm probably guilty of this as well because I don't engage with Topshop or H&M, River Island, I don't engage with them on socials. Pretty Little Thing, Misguided, Boohoo, I don't like their, I don't follow them, I don't associate with them. And I kind of think to myself, like, am I actually making that much of an impact if I'm not like directly contacting them and saying, you know, this is why I don't shop with you. I would shop with you if this would happen, and we want more transparency, we want more answers, we want more accountability, we want to know that the people who are making our clothes are working in a safe environment and are, you know, working with materials that aren't dangerous to the planet. So yeah, I think that's just something like maybe a mental note to me as well, to if you are going to boycott fast fashion, be vocal about why you are, because I think then it's most effective. Anyway, I'm going to stop rambling on and show you some of the clothes I picked up secondhand, because if you do want some additions to your wardrobe, I think there's one sustainable brand I wanted to mention in this video, but also there are a lot of beautiful pieces in charity shops and in thrift shops and on Depop and eBay, and yeah, I'm going to share with you some finds that I have picked up. I mean, first of all, this is a kind of outlier because this is not something that I personally found. I was actually sent this by a lovely subscriber, well, follower on Instagram. I don't know if she subscribes actually. She upcycles old clothes, so she'll take knitwear and cardigans and tops and blouses, and she can do loads of different things, like loads of different little motifs, but she embroiders flowers and like leaves, and she can do so many different things. Like, she's very, very talented. I will leave her Instagram down below. At the moment she doesn't have a website, she's only got an Instagram, but yeah, definitely follow her on there, contact her. I think she does commissions as well, so check her out. But she really kindly offered to send me a piece to try out. She was very kind. She's actually based in Slovenia, so yeah, she sent this all the way to England, which is very, very sweet of her. But yeah, she picked up this little cardigan for me. I actually haven't been able to wear it yet because it's been quite cold, but I'm excited for it to get a bit warmer, springtime, sunshine. It's got these really beautiful little daisy motifs on it. She's done them all around the collar. Oh, it's just so sweet. It's the most precious little heartfelt gift. There's something about upcycling that I just find so inspiring, you know, like taking something that wasn't necessarily that interesting, like a grey cardigan, and making it that dainty and beautiful design. I think it's so sweet. So you definitely check her out, and thank you so much. Next up, I want to talk about a dress that makes me feel like a queen. It makes me feel like I am not even at the Oscars. It makes me feel like I am an Oscar, like a little Oscar statue, like just sculpted and just shiny and beautiful, coveted, you know. And that dress is this. Okay, it might just look like a little white gold slip dress, but oh, this is beautiful. It's so not thick, but just good quality. Like the material is such good quality. It's a really lovely shape. It fits really well. I got this from Cow. So I went to Cow Digbeth. I don't know how you say it. Digbeth. Not sure. But it's one of the best Cow vintages I've been to. If you haven't checked out Cow, it's quite expensive. It's like curated vintage clothes and shoes and accessories. There was one in Nottingham that I used to go to all the time, and it is quite expensive, I have to admit, but they do have some nice stuff in there. So I don't shop there often. I don't think there is actually one in London. I've never seen one in London. I know there's one in, I've been to the one in Sheffield, Nottingham, Manchester, and yeah, Birmingham. It's definitely worth your browse if you're nearby, but this is just so pretty. I don't actually have an occasion to wear this yet, but I feel like it could be dressed up, it could be dressed down with like a little t-shirt underneath. It was £28, so quite expensive, but like I say, I feel like I will get my wear out of it. I think it could look really cool with some really chunky boots as well, so a little bit more edgy, but also kind of dainty and girly as well. So yeah, that's that. And also at the same time, I picked up this skirt, which I definitely overpaid for. I don't know why I get suckered in. Why? I'm so well educated on vintage clothes. Like, don't get me wrong, I've been shopping secondhand way before I started my blog. Like, I lived off of hand-me-downs when I was a kid, and car boot sales as well, we used to go to lots, jumble sales. So I don't know why I see a basic brown skirt and I think, yeah, that's worth £26. This is not worth £26. I don't know why I bought it, but it was the quality. That's what got me. It's by this Italian brand. Hadn't heard of it before, but the quality is lovely. It cinches me in at the waist nicely. I just thought, can't really go wrong with a brown skirt, because I do wear skirts a lot. I wear them a lot. Like, let's face it, this is going to be price per wear. I will probably get my money's worth, but I did overpay, so that's that one. Next up, a top. I actually wore this in my room tour, if you saw my little room renovation video. If you haven't seen it, I'll link it for you, because yeah, I was wearing this, so it might be interesting to watch anyway, but I was wearing this in it. This is a red blouse. It's almost like a rusted red blouse, like a kind of muted red, because it's silky, but it's almost like a crushed silk. I don't know what the correct words are, but I like it a lot. It's very comfortable. I love a good blouse. There's not much to say about it. You know me and blouses, just can't get enough. But I got this from a charity shop, and again, you can dress it up, dress it down, I'm really trying to only purchase things secondhand that I actually really, really love, because I have found it's actually really easy to spend a lot of money secondhand. Not because it's more expensive to buy things secondhand, but because I know that I'm not buying a first-hand piece. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll buy that. Like, the money's going to charity, like, I'll buy that. But I found that because it's slightly more cheaper, and because my money's not going to like a fast fashion brand, I end up purchasing more, because I'm like, oh, it's only £9, oh, it's only £10, oh, it's only £8, and then I just keep, you know, you get to the end of the month and it's like, crap, I've spent £70 on clothes. You know, even though it is secondhand. I don't know if I'm making sense, but basically I'm trying to only buy things that I really, really, really love, which I kind of failed with that skirt. So that's a little mental note for me. Did not achieve. But hey, we live, we learn. I picked up 2 cashmere jumpers recently. These are both secondhand. I know cashmere isn't a vegan material, but when it comes to wool versus maybe like acrylic, first-hand vegan products that are acrylic, or just certain man-made materials that when they're washed, they might, you know, microplastics might wash out of them and go down the drain. I think that personally it's just best to use what we've already got on the planet. It's my personal opinion. I know it doesn't make me a true vegan because I'm wearing secondhand wool, but again, my personal opinion is that veganism, this might be controversial, but I do think that veganism needs to adapt to the current climate. I understand that people don't want to wear non-vegan materials absolutely whatsoever, but I do think that we're in a climate crisis where I think that it's less of an impact to purchase something that is already on the planet as opposed to buying a first-hand plasticky vegan jumper. That is my opinion. Feel free to disagree. I welcome disagreement. I love it. I did pick these up because I get cold a lot, and cashmere is one of the softest, warmest materials that I have found to keep me warm. I don't know why I'm always cold. I'm continually freezing, and it's not even that, I mean, it is chilly, but even I just get cold really, really quickly. So layers, 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 layers. That is the grandma's motto. Grandma over here needs her layers. Like, I'm wearing a really long top underneath this really thick woolly jumper. I wear thermals. Thermals have changed my life. Thermals have changed my life. That sounds dramatic, but honestly, picking up a thermal was the best thing I ever did. Anywho, there's not much to say about these. It's just a red cardigan, quite granny-ish, but I quite like it. And a forest green jumper. In fact, I probably showed this, yeah, I've showed this in a try-on like lookbook before. But yeah, I've been wearing this so much. It's so cozy and warm. Speaking of knitwear, this is ugly. I know it's ugly. Before I even show it to you, I just wanted to give a disclaimer that this is an ugly piece of knitwear. However, I kind of love it. Like, I've shown this also in a little quick try-on haul I think I have, but I haven't spoken about it before. It's this jumper that I picked up again in a charity shop. It's an oversized greeny tealy jumper with these shapes. I was going to say geometric shapes. I don't really know what makes a shape geometric, but it's just like a lounging jumper. I probably wouldn't wear this out of the house, to be honest, but it's so cozy and warm. A tiny minuscule bit itchy, like a teeny tiny bit itchy, but it's itchy, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of itchy, but it feels soft to the touch. Do you ever get like jumpers that you think at first you're like, oh, that's not itchy at all, and then you wear it for like half an hour and you're scratching at your neck thinking, or maybe it's just me because I've got sensitive skin, but I'm thinking like, how did I not notice this? I tried this on in the charity shop. Taking a tiny little break from the charity shop purchases, I wanted to mention a couple of, these are all very dotty, didn't realise that, a couple of polka dotty sustainable first-hand purchases I made, and these were all bought last year actually on Black Friday. So like that Black Friday weekend, these were the only things I purchased in the Black Friday sales. I resisted because I didn't really need anything, but I did have my eye on this brand, on these pieces. Well, these pieces and a couple of other pieces, but I'll explain in a second. These for a while, and it's quite an expensive brand. So the brand is called Sisterhood. I've mentioned them on my channel a million times before. They're based in Manchester. They're a small business, ethically made, and they do some really, really pretty pieces. A lot of like blouses and sort of girly Reformation style dresses. I ordered a couple of blouses and a dress. The dress I've got here, but the blouses didn't really work out. But what I will say is that the customer service was absolutely brilliant, because they weren't able to give me a refund because I did purchase them in the Black Friday sales, but they were more than happy to exchange back and forth until I found something I liked. So that was really, really sweet, and they're really helpful, and I highly recommend them as a brand. This I showed in my Christmassy lookbook, but it's a greeny kind of sagey green polka dot dress with a little tie at the waist. Very, very pretty, and again quite girly, also kind of silky feeling. It's a very nice material. And then this is actually not a dress, this is a play suit. The other polka dot, the second polka dot purchase, this is a play suit. And you may be looking at this thinking, Rebecca, don't you have a spotty dress / play suit from Sisterhood? The answer would be yes. I actually have two very similar dotty dresses, but they are a completely different cut, and they are both dresses. This is a play suit. This is more of a ditzy print as opposed to my bodycon dress from them and my kind of wrap dress from them, which are a bit more chunky polka dots, but I wear them to absolute death. Like in summertime, I wear them so often that I knew purchasing this, I would get my money's worth. This is quite low cut. I would say that I would probably add another button to it, just because, I mean, if you don't have the boobs to flaunt, it just looks a bit odd if something's that low cut. Like, it's really, really deep. Which is fine, because I can just either do a little stitch or add a button, or just wear a little bralette underneath. But that's just something I would know. I don't really think it works for everyone. Like, if you've got small boobies, it just doesn't really work. My mum is vacuum cleaning right outside my room. How inconsiderate. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am? I'm kidding. Life must go on. This I wore on New Year's Eve, so you may have seen it on my Instagram. It's a little wrap top. It's got kind of like half sleeves, not 3/4 length, not short sleeves, like half sleeves. And they're sort of ballooned. And it's this really pretty sort of beigey browny shade. And then second to last, a dress I wanted to mention, a beautiful springtime-esque dress. I mean, I kind of wish this wasn't brown. I wish it was like a pale blue or, I don't know, any other colour but brown really. But anyway, I picked this up again from a charity shop. It's got these really beautiful floaty sleeves, floaty sheer capped sleeves. And it's a really lovely cut. It's got that Reformation vibe as well, like if I wore it with a chunky knit. That's the thing with, I love Reformation, don't get me wrong, like they are a sustainable brand, their pieces are beautiful. I dream of purchasing a first-hand piece from Reformation one day, because I have got a second-hand dress from them, but it's a little bit big on the torso area, because again, I don't have much to fill out a dress, you know what I'm saying? There's not a lot going on up here. So, yeah, I would love to like go into a Reformation store, try on a load of things and purchase a dress firsthand that fits me perfectly. But I will say that fashion trends go round and round and round. So when you're purchasing from a brand that's sort of styled on vintage clothes, and you know, like Rouge, for example, they sell, I love their styles as well, but they sell skirts that you could probably find something very similar already existing on the planet from a vintage store. So yeah, just some food for thought. Just some food for thought. Last but not least, dun, 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 dun. This is probably one of the most expensive things I bought from a charity shop. It's a coat, I was going to say it's a dress, bit of a weird dress. It's a coat that is kind of giving me David Tennant, Doctor Who vibes. If you know, you know. But this is actually a Ralph Lauren, very heavy, long line, woolen camel coat. I don't know what the proper name for these kind of coats are, but I've been looking for one of these for a while. I do have one that I bought probably about 10 years ago from Topshop, but it's not very long, and I kind of wanted one to go that went all the way down to the ground. So I saw this and I looked at the price tag and I thought, that is more than I care to spend on a coat, even on like Depop or anywhere, let alone in a charity shop. But I tried it on, it's a really nice fit. It's just a beautiful, really, really nicely made coat. So I did buy it. I bought it. Obviously, it's here. I bought it. And no regrets. To be honest, I do really, really love it. It's got buttons all the way down. It's not like fake buttons. It's just really, really good quality. Very warm. The only thing I don't like about it is that it's got like double pockets on one side, which aren't even real pockets. Like, it's not like they're sewn shut. They're just not real pockets. It's all very strange. And I think that looks weird, but you don't really notice it when it's on. So that's my only gripe with this piece. But other than that, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I can put it on and live my Doctor Who inner child self. Pretend to be David Tennant in Doctor Who. God, back in the day, I used to be obsessed with Doctor Who. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that on my channel before, but I used to love it. I still watch it to this day. Not the new ones, which actually, considering it's International Women's Day, I have to say I haven't watched the female Doctor Who. Which, no, not because I don't agree with the Doctor Who, with the Doctor being female, but just because I've never really, I kind of fell off the bandwagon. I stopped watching the Matt Smith ones after a while because I couldn't follow it. I thought it was stupid. There were so many plot holes. And then when I used to babysit, I would watch sorry, this is probably boring if you'd never watched Doctor Who, but I started watching the Matt Smith ones when I was babysitting once, and I just didn't really understand how these like 7-year-old kids, 7, 6, 9-year-old kids could understand what the heck was going on. Because I couldn't follow the storyline, let alone kids. So yeah, I kind of fell out of love with Doctor Who because the writing changed, but I might give it another go. I should probably give it another try. But yeah, let me know if you watch it with what's she called, Jodie Whittaker. Anywho, a bit of a nerdy end to a thrift haul, but I hope you enjoyed nonetheless, and happy International Women's Day, however you are celebrating it. I love all of the people, like the women in the vegan blogging world, like they're all, it's like a little community, and I love I just love the little community that has been formed online and is ever growing, and it's just lovely. Everyone's so supportive and sweet, and it's really, really heartwarming in a time that is politically charged and it's a bit doom and gloom. It's just nice to have a little area of the internet that is not so doom and gloom, and everyone's very supportive and encouraging each other, and if somebody gets like a sponsored post, everyone's, you know, going to like it and comment with it and engage on it, and just be nice, just be kind to people, you know? Treat people with kindness, as the great Harry Styles once said. Treat people with kindness. Anywho, I'm going to love you and leave you. Hope we're all doing well, like I said. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see some more from me, like, comment, follow me on socials if you fancy, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye.